The Chiefs have asked the NFL to make them the staple of Christmas Day games. The Chiefs have obviously played the last 2 years. The Raiders lost 2 years ago. Then the Steelers win this past year. Going back further than that, Chiefs played in 2016, the famous Dontari Poe a touchdown pass. 2004 when you played, and then in 1971. So the Chiefs have played in total 5 games and have gone back to back. So the Chiefs want to be pretty much the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys of what they are to Thanksgiving, but they want to do that for Christmas, which I think is pretty cool as, an avid watcher. But we're all watching the game, right? We're all at home opening gifts, doing stuff with family, friends. But NFL players, right? So it's obviously Chiefs have asked the NFL this. Clark Hunt's probably asked the NFL this. I don't know if the players have asked this, but JD, as a player, you obviously 2004, you played on Christmas. You've kind of talked about how how hard that kind of was. But like as a player, when you see the Chiefs are asking to be that team that plays on Christmas from here on out, because it seems like the NFL is making a big point of emphasis to play on Christmas for forever.
Mm-hmm.
What is a player's thought process on this? Because obviously when you hear Chiefs ask this, Mahomes ain't asking for this. Clark Hunt is. What is a player thinking about this?
Oh, man. You know what? I always said this. When you play in the NFL, you got to kind of get used to where sometimes obviously during the season, the holidays during that time really doesn't apply to you as much because you're going to be doing something during the week. Obviously, some teams are playing during that day, after or before. So you always are going to be doing something close to Christmas. And look, we know the Chiefs are a huge draw. We know that. And so do teams want to see the Chiefs? Obviously wearing, the good old Christmas colors of, red and white and kind of goes with the whole, theme and festivities of holiday of Christmas. I don't know. I think it's not, for me as a player, I like my downtime with my family. I do. I like, kind of opening the Christmas presents with my kids under the tree, when it was during that time, if you were able to. Just kind of kicking your feet up, having your family and stuff around. That whole going to the stadium and maybe before the night is sleeping at the hotel room, if you will, may be a lot more than what guys just want to continue to do year in and year out. Thanksgiving is one of those things people gather. So it's like, like you get there. Sometimes you don't eat until later on during the day. But it's not like the tradition of waking up and opening the presents with your kids, all those different things, right? So I don't see maybe where Thanksgiving is maybe not as sacred as Christmas is. If that's your holiday that you like to celebrate. Obviously, there's different ones that don't celebrate Christmas, and you got to understand that too. But as far as like guys on the team that do celebrate it, they may be opposed to it. Like I said before, Marcus, if I had my druthers, my choice to do it, I wouldn't want to make it every year doing it. I'm like, why us? That's how I'm like, why we got to be the ones? Let somebody else do it. Switch it up like they do every year. So, I know Clark and them, it works well for owners, sure, because you get the draw. That's what happens. You get the audience. So I don't know. I don't know how the team, the guys would take something like that if it did happen. But who knows?
And I was looking at when you guys played, were you guys a primetime game in 04, or were you guys 4 o'clock maybe?
I think so. Yeah, I think it might have been a 4 o'clock game.
Yeah.
I think so. But still, we had to, be at the hotel the night before, the meetings, all of that. Like it's hard to like the mode of Christmas and the kids, going to bed. You want to kiss them goodnight. All the stuff ready, and and then Santa comes in the morning. You want to see what Santa dropped up underneath the tree, right? See when he put in the stocking in the chimney, and so that's always one of the traditions everybody likes. The kids like that. So if you're telling me they got to get up to the stadium and go to the game, they're like, man, I want presents and all this. Okay. All right. So
yeah. Well, I feel like yeah, because you guys, that was a 4:00 game. I feel like that would be better, I guess. And I know with this past year we played at noon, and I remember was it 1:00 or noon? I remember we kind of had to like hurry up with everything, and we had my two nieces over for the holidays, and we had to kind of like wrap the gifts up. They already did their thing, but like they were opening uncle's gifts and stuff, and then like it got to a point where it was like 11:30. I'm like, okay, like. Let's speed this thing up. We got the game starting soon. So like, and I have to imagine that's a rush for fans, right? The players, like, they can't really enjoy that, man, because they're like, let's say they're out the door. Let's say Andy lets them stay at their house for the night. That morning, when like you gotta be at the stadium so early, you can't really can't enjoy it at all.
Yeah, it's hard to enjoy that, man. So you definitely want to be around your family. Just like I said, and kind of enjoy your time. I get people, obviously it's great to have, the games on Christmas, but I think it needs to be in rotation. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So
I wonder if the Chiefs, by making this, because obviously they know they have Mahomes and he's going to play for the next 15 years, right? So they obviously know that NFL wants to put Mahomes on a day like this, and because NFL is making no bones about it, they want to make Christmas an NFL day, no longer an NBA day. And right with the way the ratings are for the NBA, there's definitely a huge opening for that. They proved it last year. So making Mahomes a staple of that, that's a great way to start this tradition out, right? You have Mahomes in the prime of his career. But by Chiefs saying they want to make it the staple, the Chiefs get the home game for that. So at least Clark and them, they know the NFL wants Mahomes on this Christmas game. At least we say, hey, we're the staple, just like Detroit and Dallas. They play all their Thanksgiving games at home. It's never a away game. So at least they're claiming the home territory aspect of it by making themselves a staple, if that is what the NFL decides to do.
Yeah, I mean, that you can use that as an argument for sure. I know that at times, okay, like I said, the Chiefs are a draw. Patrick Mahomes is always going to be a draw as long as he's playing, right? He really will be best quarterback in the NFL. Everybody wants to see that. I know at a time when Dallas kind of wasn't as good and Detroit definitely wasn't any good. Everybody's like, oh, geez, let's just watch some football, right? While you're doing that, and so they gave you something. So it wasn't just eating stuffing yourself with the turkey, and then watching maybe some bad football being played on Thursday. Now with the Chiefs, you're going to get you a great game coming out with the best quarterback in the business. And usually for Chiefs fans, it's going to turn into a victory. It's going to turn into a win. And the way that the hate has been going around, like the flu, I'm sure other people love to just see the Chiefs lose if that's the case as well. So the haters going to come out because they just want to see the Chiefs take an L. But I don't. You could, like I said, man, you can make the argument for that to try to do those things. I think what you had to look for is future-wise. Patrick Mahomes is not always going to play with the Chiefs. Okay, are we going to be able to acquire another quarterback that could at least get close to equate what Patrick Mahomes can do? I'm not sure, but I'm sure they'll do a good job finding somebody. Right? I know what we have right now. So if you're going to try to establish something right now, sure. I just think it just sets a bad precedent. You know what I mean? But it works for an organization in itself. And Clark?
100%. It's a foolproof thing for the organization because right now, the 10 years, right, it's mutually beneficial. The NFL gets Mahomes, the Chiefs get to play the prime time game or that main game on Christmas. But and I was looking at the Lions started playing on Thanksgiving in 1934, right?
Really?
And I don't know, yeah, and obviously way before the merger, but that's when they started playing in 1934 on Thanksgiving.
So what was the reason? Do you know the reason behind it?
It just said the Lions started. I just looked at. I didn't see the reason, but yeah, they started playing on Thanksgiving in 1934. I don't know. I don't know if there was a specific reason why.
Huh. I always wondered that.
Okay, here you go. Detroit Lions started their Thanksgiving tradition in 1934 when owner George A. Richards, seeking to boost attendance and visibility for the newly relocated team, arranged for a game on the holiday, which is broadcast nationally. So he wanted those numbers. Which and that's the thing. It's like right now, Chiefs don't necessarily need that, but for the Chiefs' point of view, for the organization's point of view, is hey, let's capitalize on this now. So in 20 years' time, when there is no Patrick Mahomes anymore, and we're still that team that plays on Christmas. So, I mean, it's a smart way, forward-thinking move for the organization to do that. Because, like the Lions, they went through many years before they had this team they have now, right? The Joey Harringtons, the John Kitna type years, right? So, and now they're locked in regardless of who's their quarterback. So it's a smart move by the Chiefs to kind of take advantage and ride the wave that we have right now.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Just like Chief for 65 point TPT said, money is always a reason. It's what it is. Like you said, it's not necessarily visibility, but if you have something to staple for the next few years and try to keep it like that forever, why not take advantage of it and say, hey man, let's throw a name in a hat. We've been a good draw for the past few years, been to the Super Bowl, 5 of the last 6. Yeah, sure. But I don't know how the owners would take it. They probably laughed at the thing like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Why should y'all guys get that? Because y'all have this run. But, maybe that's the reason they started a little Christmas story in Kansas City last year. They wanted to, kind of, maybe.
And I believe Buffalo's getting it this year.
Buffalo's getting it, really? Okay.
Yeah, the new Hallmark movies for Buffalo this year.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're just trying to
watch that.
Hallmark's is trying to capitalize on anything NFL related. So anything they get a license for it, they're going to do it. And then also Lions got it in 1934. Then it wasn't until 1966 when Dallas started their Thanksgiving tradition.
Okay.
So 32 years later. So, yeah, I mean, like you said, long-term wise for the Kansas City Chiefs, it's very beneficial for the organization because, you're going to have a game that's yours regardless when Mahomes is there or not. They've done it for 2 years already, so they're probably going to continue again this year. And I will say, too, I remember that players some didn't like the whole, playing that such a few amount of games in such short, 8 days or 2 games, 6 days, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a long break. It was kind of like a bye week for them because that game was a Wednesday, so they had 13 days off till the next game, which a lot of players did like that. They said they needed it, so that was good for them. This year, if we do get a Thanksgiving or if we do get the Christmas Day game, Christmas Day falls on Thursday, so it's pretty much just having a Thursday night game if we were to get the Christmas Day game this coming season. So
yeah, I got no problem with it if it's this year. Not at all.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.